Hey guys, the Money Dude here again, and we got some brand new Battlefield 4 leaked alpha screenshots of, the Battlefield 4 alpha, and this seems to be a pre-built alpha, so the textures may not look as great. But let's go ahead and move on to the next image, and this next image is what the Battlefield 4 start menu will look like. Nothing different or new there. We would have expected a change there, nothing drastic. So let's move into the in-game menu, and this is actually what the in-game menu looks like. You got your campaign is off limits, the store is off limits, but your soldier, your multiplayer, and your options are right there. Now, you also see a couple of other stuff there, like your upcoming unlocks and a strange little box there. I don't know what that is. It reminds me of Bad Company 2. And it also indicates what online friends are currently on. And on the consoles, this was actually distributed on the consoles. I don't know if this was shown on the PC, but it would actually show you what your friends were on Battlefield 3. Now moving to the next image, this is also the server browser, and from looking at the server browser, it looks like any old regular console server browser, and it also, from the icons that we see, it also reminds me that it's also being done on an Xbox platform. Now whether or not we know that if this is going to be done on the Xbox 360 or the Xbox One has been yet to come, but for safe reasons we're just going to say that it's going to be done on the current generation Xbox platform. So that's what this alpha is being run off of, the current generation Xbox 360. Now let's move on to the next image. Now the next image, this is kind of like a 3D mapping system of what your map currently looks like, or what your area currently looks like. A redefined HUD system that changes a lot in what you currently see. Like if you choose assault, then you'll see all your options that you have for assault, like your gun, your pistol, your gadget, your second gadget, and your specialization. And if you click on the engineer or support recon, it'll do the exact same for you. And there's the deploy, the customize, and the team switch option, which is available on consoles and PCs. Now, there's also a lot more, but let's move on to the next image right about now. Now, this is kind of what some of the in-game kind of looks like. Now remember, this is an insanely pre-built alpha footage. This is probably not what most people who get invited into the Battlefield 4 alpha are going to have to deal with, or going to have to play along with. Although it does look very gorgeous, even though you got those white buildings back there. It's obvious that it's not done, but the soldier's hand and his gun obviously look gorgeous. Now moving on to the next image, this is an image of him falling. Let's just assume that he's falling from that building. Now the animation itself of someone falling from a very high level doesn't really seem very changed. Now moving on again, this is kind of what the new, well, this is not new, it's just the old knife slash animation. Now keep in mind that there are no actual images available of what the knifing animations look like in Battlefield 4. Now I threw this in there because it kind of made me laugh a little bit how DICE did that. It's an untextured building, but since it's alpha, DICE can do whatever they want. They just threw an image of them cutting at something. Now this is the next image, and this is the generically changed HUD, or a part of it. Now definitely what you'll be able to do, you'll be able to click on your weapon, and when you click on your weapon, you'll have two, if not more, a lot more options to choose from. Like currently he has equipped the M16, and what I see is the second option actually is the L85A2, and I could be wrong about that. I don't know, this image is from very far away. So his second gun option is the L85A2, but his secondary weapon can be chosen as well. He currently has the M9 equipped, and his gadget 1 could be his defibrillators, and his gadget 2 could be his medic kit, and he also has a grenade option. There's actually an option to change your grenade, which makes me think what they could possibly be adding in Battlefield 4 for the future. And there's also an option to change your knife, so maybe they'll include actual Russian standard knives and a lot more into the Battlefield 4 multiplayer. And also on specialization, that's been the same for everything, and you'll definitely be able to choose your appearance of what camo you'd like. It'll all definitely be included in this one section of your customized weapon section of the multiplayer HUD. It'll definitely all be there, and we got a little bit of stats there on the far right side, but we'll get to that in another image. Now we're getting ready to move on to the next image right about now, and get ready because we're going to go to the engineer kit. And what basically on the engineer kit, it's basically the exact same thing. Nothing's really going to change from the next couple of images, although I did kind of want to describe the engineer soldier himself. The engineer soldier himself actually doesn't really look very very different from the last Engineer Soldier. Maybe but then again, you know, he does look a little messed up. But I mean, this is a very pre-built alpha. But in my opinion, he doesn't look very different. Just a couple of stuff has been taken off him, like his vesting and whatnot. Now let's move on to the next image. The support soldier. The support soldier himself actually does look like a revamped version of the assault or the medic soldier in Battlefield 3. He looks like he insanely resembles the assault soldier from Battlefield 3. They just, you know, you obviously can't see the ammo on him anymore, and they definitely revamped his clothing, gave him a lot of stuff like some knee pads and whatnot. They changed his vest, and nothing really different there. But it definitely, other than the fact that he's missing arms and his gun's on the floor, other than that, everything else is pretty much looks a lot different about the support soldier. I remember this is a pre-built alpha footage or screenshots. Now, moving on, we are currently at the scout, or if not the recon soldier. Now, with the recon soldier, he does look kind of different. He doesn't look like his predecessor, and his predecessor definitely looked like he had like a little, I'm just going to call it a turban. He had a little turban over his head covering his mouth, and in the Aftermath gameplay, it was actually covering his entire head. And that doesn't seem to be there. He seems to be a military issue, like just a standard soldier with a sniper rifle. Something you would see in probably a cop. I don't know. I'm not going to get into details there. That's not official or anything. I'm just throwing my opinions on what the soldier looks like to me. And if you look on the far right side, I'm going to get into details about this now. You can actually see that there are some scope options there. You know, there's the 6x, the 8x, and the 14x. And I'm not sure, maybe you'll be able to change these zoom scope sizes in game and maybe compare them together. And there's also a standard barrel size, so maybe you'll be able to change your barrel for your sniper rifle in Battlefield 4 to maybe something a little bit more heavier and give you a little bit more customization options in game. Now let's move on. This is a sniper rifle from the Recon class, and I actually do not know what this sniper rifle is. I don't know. If you guys know, please go in the comment section below. Maybe throw up an image from Google or something, and maybe showing what this gun could possibly be. What I'm currently going off of is that this gun is possibly the SV98, if not the M48A5 revamped and through the Frostbite 3 engine, and this is the end result of what it came out to look like in the Frostbite 3 engine, and it's definitely looking a lot different, the black and everything. Oh whoa. I don't know, it just definitely looks a lot different and not what we would usually be used to in the Frostbite 2 engine. And this is also the jumping animation that's been carried on to Battlefield 4. Nothing really different there. It should be definitely the same. Now let's move on. This is a guy who is getting ready to hop into the M1A2 Abrams tank for the American side. This is the MBT main battle tank for the American side, and it's definitely, nothing's really been revamped other than the HUD. And this looks like the exact same HUD that we saw in the Battlefield 4 17-minute gameplay trailer that we saw a couple of months ago. Now, I'm going to move it on. Now, if you guys look at the bottom right side, you can actually see that there is a limit of shells that he can actually have on his main battle tank at one time, if not at several times at a time. But yeah, he seems to have 5 shells currently on his tank, 1 inside preloaded, and 4 just laying around somewhere. Now this number is definitely not possibly what the amount that they're going to give you in game. They're not going to give you like 5 shells until you run into a battlefield with in game. This is a pre-built alpha, so they probably just threw a random number in there. And if you didn't notice, some of the guns weren't actually properly named. Like the M16 was given some random number serial code, and the M48A5 was called the Scout Elite. Now this is a brand new vehicle for Battlefield 4, and we haven't seen this in Battlefield 3 itself. And this vehicle is called the Cougar H MRAP. Now, this vehicle was designed to survive the explosive threats posed by improvised explosive devices or IEDs. Now, these vehicles were collectively described as MRAP, mine-resistant, ambush protected, capable, which means it was specifically built to defeat threats such as mines and whatnot. So maybe in Battlefield 4, if you run over a mine with this thing, it'll take like 1/4 damage and won't disable your vehicle. It'd probably be useful in some situations, but I don't know. It is pretty cool to have a brand new vehicle in Battlefield 4 though. But yeah, guys, we're heading near the end of the video, and I just wanted to thank you guys for checking this video out. And if you guys thought this video was informational, definitely leave it a like if you enjoyed it. And if anything else, if you guys thought it was informational, and you guys want to see more Battlefield 4 news from me, then be sure to subscribe. But also don't forget that if you guys want to check out the entire 53 image file that I have saved up, you guys can definitely check it out. It's in a link in the description below. All of the images, there's a lot more images than this. It's just that the commentary itself would have been entirely too long if I had carried on with what we currently have now. Alright guys, it's a Bunny Dude. Remember, if you guys enjoyed this stuff, yada yada yada, leave a like, subscribe. But alright, that's pretty much it. Alright guys, it's been the Bunny Dude. Peace.
And it went